thanks to Chime and BetterHelp for sponsoring today's episode.
For going around demanding, nay, expecting a little vegan treat.
Yeah.
And how has that interrupted your lifestyle?
Well, I like snacks.
That's brave.
That is, it's good that Zach is opening up on this episode.
This is huge.
He likes snacks.
I think I'm discovering what actually is real is that I'm an almond mom and that I have deprived myself joy for a long time.
Oh, no.
My theory has always been if you don't have snacks in the home, then you can't snack. So I cut this out of my life because sugars don't make me feel good. They make my belly bloat. They make me toot toot. They make me, it feels good going in, but I pay the price.
I have never understood when and maybe this is just because I'm built different.
Yeah, I think you must be built different.
When people
you're
say
built right.
sugar doesn't make me feel good.
Really?
I'm like,
You've never had like
kind of what are you talking about? Like kind of like what's wrong with you?
wow.
And that's like also sometimes like every time I've had a cupcake for the last 18 years, I've had a stomachache.
Huh.
But
So
ice cream,
oh.
no effect on me.
Ooh.
I think there's more sugar in a cupcake.
Yeah, what could...
Really?
That's interesting.
I can have, and I've been cutting back on ice cream, and let me just tell you, I've noticed.
Life's not as good.
Life's not as, the burns aren't so bright anymore. The ice cream has sort of left the station. I haven't had a Sublime Trader Joe's ice cream sandwich in about a week. And
A week. Cut it out. You haven't had ice cream in a week.
Well, I did get Jenny's ice cream.
So did you really cut it out, or did you just
No,
remove?
I've been having it right before bed.
Oh, okay.
So in a way that's the difference.
Okay.
Are you sleeping better?
No, I'm actually sleeping worse. You know, I've slept
Thank you very much.
I've slept terribly
you,
last
Rainie.
couple days, Rainie. I woke up.
He's
My
in.
dog was just doing this, just scratching and scrunching.
He's like, hey, you forgot to eat ice cream.
he was like, Miles, wake
Wake
up.
up.
Your blood sugar's too
Are you
low.
okay?
But
Miles
yeah.
is like a cartoon character tossing and turning, going, my ice cream.
Trader Joe's Sublime ice cream sandwich. No, I get that for you, Zach. You're feeling like, I think that it's also different people have different sensitivities to stuff. So Zach is very sensitive to everything. And I feel that I am not so sensitive. Zach's sensitive. And even I actually think philosophically, Zach's a little more sensitive than I am.
And Miles, I want you to be careful with what you're saying because it is hurting my feelings.
No. Emotionally, Zach's powerful. He's strong. But I think that like Zach has not only food sensitivity, but sensitivity to like a bad movie. Whereas I enjoy almost all movies.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
They make my tummy hurt.
They make your tummy hurt. Yeah, you might watch Twisters with Glenn Powell and you think, makes my tummy hurt.
A little bloaty.
And I was like, I thought that he was actually great.
Oh, he's a
He
movie
was.
star.
Yeah, I thought she needed a coffee, but
I agree. I feel like her accent went in.
They
and
were
out.
in different movies.
no, I was like,
That was Garrick's whole thing on Guilty
Yeah.
Pleasures.
should have been Jennifer Lawrence.
She was treating it incredibly
Yes.
seriously, and he was treating it like it was a boulder ride.
Yeah.
But he
And-
was electric. He was like,
He
woo,
was,
you know?
and but they were different movies.
Yeah, totally different
And
movies.
I was like, and I wanted his movie.
Yeah, because
I
I
wanted-
actually
wanted
think
his.
her movie is probably
Yeah.
Better,
Could
but
be
his
a lot
movie is
better.
what we want.
yeah,
right.
so it was tough.
And then the filmmaking, we're going to talk about Twisters now, which came out 2 months ago. And then the filmmaking was like, I want to be, it's the guy who made Minari. So
Yeah.
he wanted to like be like beautiful, reflective about the world. But I want people go boom and things. And
yeah, I like
Hugh
his
Gruber
YouTube.
takes on storms?
every
believe
single
yeah.
I
kill in
want
that
the first
movie.
10 minutes to have the next 10 minutes be like that, and then the next 10
Yeah.
minutes also be like that. I want just nothing but storms.
Yeah.
Nothing but storms.
Honestly,
amount
they
of
released
times
a movie
people
called
just-
Nothing But Storms. I watched it.
Nothing but storms.
We wanted Geostorm.
Yeah.
But I will say, just one more thought on Twister. If you live in an area that is being decimated by storms, and all of a sudden there's a storm, and every single person in the town is like, what do we do? You've done a bad job. Those people would be like, oh, we go to the shelter. We
Right.
go to this.
Yeah.
Everyone is like full-blown panic. This has never been a storm before. Nearby, the other town got fucking annihilated, disintegrated by a storm.
Yeah. I will say that when I was in the tornado in Houston earlier
Scary.
this summer,
Oh yeah.
that they were so like, oh, well, it never actually comes to Houston, so don't worry about it.
Oh.
And then it was coming, and it was clear like they didn't have a good plan.
Yeah, I guess
because
that's true.
it does, it's one of those things like, well, that won't happen to me, but it could. and all those people were like, I did not know. There was no storm shelter. We hid in a shipping container that had been converted into a bar.
Yes,
that was the
yeah.
safest thing we had. And that was, it was probably drilled into the foundation, but.
What you are saying is making me realize that life is precious. Chaos can happen at any moment. You never know. I'm going to have a little vegan
Have
treat.
a little snack. Hell yeah.
And what is your LVT of the day?
Well, if you don't have time, Rainie told us that this episode needs to be laser focused.
Yes.
I know, we
Okay,
really
yes,
been all over the place.
absolutely.
So the last time we did a Reddit episode, it did very well, but people were really upset because we spent the first 30 minutes chit-chatting.
Uh-oh.
How dare we?
How far in
Shame
are we? How far in are we, Rainie?
So we got to get to the Reddit a medium moi, and I might cut some of that intro just so that we can give the people
As soon as Zach
laser.
starts emoting. Cut it out.
So Keith, can I have you read? I just texted you guys. Can I have you read the first one?
Yeah.
And also, can we give like I want a formal title card introduction
Oh yeah.
to what
And
we're doing today.
We are doing Am I the Asshole Reddit stories, and the theme is controversial. These ones are a little twicky.
A
And we
little
might
twicky.
Get a little canceled.
Whoa, Rainey's.
Maybe.
We're teetering on the verge of being canceled. And we're using Reddit to do the job.
This is exciting because we have a bunch of friends out there who do Reddit polls. I see.
Shout out Shane Top.
And Shane apparently he wanted to be a Try Guy once upon a time.
Really?
He gave up on that dream.
He said that to you?
I think they maybe I'm lying. But anyway, now we're coming after his turn. So
Well, then what is it? Did
Shane-
you make it up or are you lying?
That is
Shane wanted to be
funny.
us, and I want to prove. Now we want to be Shane.
Cool.
Yeah.
A few months ago, I, female 20, decided I wanted to take up pole dancing. I told my roommates, Amanda, female 20, and Holly, female 26, that I was thinking of getting one and installing it in the living room. And they said, go ahead. Side note, we had no furniture at the time. So this pole was installed in an empty living room.
Okay.
A little while later, since nobody else was getting furniture, I got a couch off Facebook Marketplace. Holly also got a TV for the living room. Right after we got the TV, Holly demanded that we move the pole out of the back side of the living room so that the TV and couch could fit in the corner where the pole already is.
Whoa.
I was confused by her request because the couch was already placed close to the center of the living room and there was an outlet available for the TV to go in front of the couch. I asked Holly why she wanted to move it into the corner, and she said because she wanted a cozy little nook. Fair. I told her that the pole is quite difficult to move and install, and the pole being in its existing spot gives me enough room. The new spot she suggested would have me slightly in the way of the hallway. Because of those reasons, I told Holly kindly that I wouldn't be moving the pole and the couch can stay where it is on the other side of the living room, partly because I own the couch, and since she simply asked me, I'm allowed to say no. She didn't respond well to this. She contacted our rental company and told them that we had an unauthorized stripper pole in our unit that no one agreed to.
Whoa.
An administrator came to our unit and told me that the pole needed to be removed. I was obviously pissed that she snitched on me, so I told Holly if she still wants her cozy little nook, she can get her own couch. I'm restricting her from using mine. Am I the asshole?
Wow. They are both the asshole.
Yeah.
This is
It's fine.
exciting. This is a good story.
Really good story. I think that, did it say if they were friends before?
It says,
They're 20 and 26, so I feel like
told
they
my
probably
roommates.
are.
They never say friend.
It seems random.
Yeah.
Who was okay? I remember
It's
there
the
was
two
20
20-year-olds. Amanda never comes into play.
Yeah, she's irrelevant.
Yeah, she's
Amanda,
irrelevant.
I'm sorry. No, Holly is the old one. Amanda's the same age. So Holly's 26. So Holly is 26, and the
Right, the
person with-
26-year-old is starting shit.
yeah, starting shit with the 20-year-old.
The 26-year-old called the cops.
Called the landlords.
Yeah,
basically.
landlord's a cop.
Yeah. I mean,
The
yes.
Landlords are cops.
If you're listening out there and you're a landlord, we don't respect you.
Landlords are cops. I think that probably, okay, here's the thing. Calling in the authorities is a boner move for sure.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
It's bonerific. But I think that who threw the first stone? I think that our protagonist, Holly, she threw the first stone.
She didn't handle it great.
Because look, if you put a stripper pole in your home, everyone needs to be down with the cause. It's so obstructive.
But everyone said yes.
At first, but they also have permission to change their mind, right?
Sure.
If I buy a crazy painting and we all think it's so fun when we're drunk, and then 6 months later we're like, hey, this is freaking me out.
This is me and the giant Nick Cage portrait that we had in my college.
Exactly. And everyone agreed on them. And at some point, we're like, hey, maybe we move past this. I think it's appropriate to move the stripper pole.
I get that. I'll take her side.
Please.
to get a stripper pole in, you've got to go buy it. You've got to bring it in.
Sure.
You've got to mount
Install.
it. You've got to install it. There's a lot of
Lot of goes,
time
yeah.
for the roommates to say, "Are we sure we won't want something else there?"
How
Are
long
we
was it in?
It doesn't say. It just says a little while.
Yeah, a
So,
little
we don't
while.
know.
Yeah.
But there's still no furniture. So some time passes. Let's presume it's a month.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Dang, we got to get furniture in here. We can't just keep living like stripper pole people. Can't live. We can't only have a stripper pole. Not all of us can fit. So we need a couch." And she says she got the couch.
She's paying the money.
She got the seating. She got the seat.
Here's what I'll say.
We don't know about the rest of the house's
Yeah, we
stuff.
don't
Like
know.
maybe somebody brought the microwave and the toaster.
I do think that you're right about that she took the time. I sort of am, as someone who, provides advice on the internet to problems just like these.
You do that?
I'll
That's true.
say, I do. I'll say that actually my hunch would be they both need to get inconvenienced. So her problem was the stripper bowl and the thing gets moved and whatever, we still keep the stripper bowl, but it's inconvenient for the couch too. That to me is a good solution because both parties are refusing to budge. So it's
Right.
like maybe we both live with the inconvenience instead of being like one person just gets their way. And I think that calling the cops / landlord is the boner move that is like,
Yeah.
I would just move out at that point.
Yeah, I do
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
there's
Point
probably
over.
some things omitted here.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Because it probably wasn't just, "Hey, could we move the couch?" She says, "No, I like it how it is." I call the cops.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure there were some little
Arguments.
arguments in the middle of that before it got to that. However, I kind of side with this person only because it takes a lot of work to install something like
right.
that.
Yeah.
They did agree. This girl did provide the couch,
Yeah.
so you don't get to decide where I put my thing. If I'm already bringing the
point.
seating arrangement for the living room.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I don't know what state they're in, but let's say it's New York, not a lot of space. So then it would be like, you should just never have said yes to begin with to the stripper pole because there's not enough space for that.
Oh, I would never say yes.
But so there must be something,
Never? That's
some
kind
others.
of brand for you.
I mean, unless because of reasons like this,
Yeah.
or I'd be like, you know what I would have said? Yeah, sure. Let's keep it up for a little bit, not forever, but I think it's really fun to have up for a little bit. We
I
can
would
be the
have
house with the stripper pole for a little bit.
I would have said, how can we install it in a temporary way?
That's exactly right.
I
Keith.
wonder, again, this is unreliable narrator here.
Yeah.
I wonder if it wasn't like, "Hey, do you guys mind if I put the stripper pole in the living room?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." Not thinking like, "Oh, this is not going to be a permanent
fixture.
decor
Right,
of
yeah.
our home."
Right.
Yeah, that's
Like,
possible.
We just moved in and have an empty living room. Sure, go nuts.
And is she stripping? Is she practicing her routine carte blanche gratis for the roommates?
The way stripper pole is
That's kind of fun.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
That's a free show.
Then it's dinner and a show, and then I'm thinking sort of giving the roommates a benefit.
well, now we should turn the couch
Yeah.
and get rid of the TV, and you are the entertainment for the night.
Yeah.
No, a stripper pole it's exercise. It is really, I don't know if you've been on it.
Oh, I've never been on one, but it is intense exercise.
It is intense exercise. So this to me is the same as like, "Hey, do you mind if I put my P90X in the living room?"
That's another commenter. I have some comments below it. Someone else makes that point as well.
That was me actually. I
Good job.
was commenting while you were reading.
Yeah.
I went
Yeah.
and no, it's like I think the living room, especially when you're in your 20s, you have a small apartment. Like that is for the TV, for hanging out, for hosting.
Yeah.
I think that any workout stuff like either needs to be something that is collapsible and we can
Yeah.
roll out,
Or it should be in your room.
or it should be in your room.
Yeah. I think that Amanda is actually really fucking them on this.
Amanda's just not even help. Yeah, she's
Exactly,
not.
'cause she's the third
casting
vote.
no vote.
Oh.
She's the third vote, and she's probably like, I don't want to get involved. But in a house, if you have to cohabitate, you do need to have kind of a majority vote, or you find a compromise. They weren't able to find a compromise, so then it goes to, okay,
Yeah.
if we're all going to be pissed about this, let's find a majority way to move
But
on.
I think they're both a little bit assholey, right?
Yes, I
Because
agree.
You can't. There's some good comments here. One person says like, you can't have a cozy little nook if you don't have a couch. Okay, that's fair.
Right, well said.
But also, it's like keeping your exercise equipment in the common area. That's everyone's area. You all pay an equal amount of rent in this scenario,
Yeah.
so you all need equal amount of space. And if it's a shared space, everyone's has to have
And
equal
they-
say in the share.
And they offered to move it to another place in the living room, which I think is pretty reasonable.
Right. But maybe it's like not actually safe to pole dance in that area if it's by the hallway, right? If it's
Yeah.
close to a hallway,
Right.
you could collide
And how
with
can you,
someone, or maybe there's a door
uninstall?
frame.
Yeah.
Maybe like the tricks that she's trying to do take up more space, but then that would argue that's too much common space.
Okay, this is a tough roommate thing, but if I like get home from work and I want to watch TV and fucking Amanda is doing her swinging around, doing her routine, in the middle of the living room and now I can't watch Love Island, I would be pissed.
Yeah, like it is a workout. It's like, can I take up the whole living room to do my own thing? Feels totally ridiculous.
And by the way, if you get even close to me, you will get kicked in the face.
Right. And covered in sweat.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But then like that begs the question, is her right to exercise equal, greater, or lesser than your right to relax?
Lesser.
I think lesser because you're not exercising all the time. You can relax all the time.
But it's like, why is your ability to watch Love Island more important than her ability
to exercise? I think because it's your ability to watch Love Island, other people can cohabitate in the space.
Not if they hate Love Island.
Not if they hate Love Island. That's a good point. But it's like her ability to exercise. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess to me, yeah, I think that
she has a right to
if someone's watching Love Island, I can lay on the couch and scroll on my phone. Exercise does not need to happen in a living room, but relaxation does.
Yeah, there's something also about like
I can't believe that got a double from the two of you.
Except I was more of a because I'm thinking like, no, relaxation can happen in your room. You could watch Love Island on your computer.
No, that's bad sleep hygiene.
It's not your couch, though. Are you allowed to sit on your friend's couch that she's provided to watch your friend?
To be clear, is crazy. To be like, I bought a couch for the living room and no one else is allowed to use it. Fuck off.
Well, that
absolutely.
was only after the scenario.
It still is like
that was after being called the cops on.
That's
I would be absolutely like you made my pole is getting removed because of your actions.
You called the landlord cop.
I'm putting a fucking tape on the couch. This is my couch.
At that point, though, it's just like you got to move out.
No, it's done.
You got to move out. The pay cycles nowadays, they're antiquated. They don't work anymore. But life doesn't wait for a payday. You know, why do you have to wait for a payday? You got to be in control of your money. And when you are in control of your money, you can reach your financial goals easier and still have the occasional little treat, maybe a little vegan treat. With a Chime checking account, you get access to products like MyPay, which lets you get up to $500 of your pay between paydays with no credit check, no interest, and no mandatory fees. You can learn more at chime.com/tryguys. Chime lets you get up to $500 of your pay before payday with no interest, no credit check, and no mandatory fees with MyPay. And here's how MyPay works. You set up direct deposits into your Chime account. Once you've received the required amount of qualifying direct deposits of $200 plus, Chime will invite you to enroll in MyPay if you meet all other eligibility requirements. Take more control of your finances and stop waiting for a payday. Open your account in minutes at chime.com/tryguys. That's chime.com/tryguys. Chime. Feels like progress. Banking services provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Deposits are FDIC insured through the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. up to applicable limits. MyPay line of credit provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. MyPay eligibility requirements apply. MyPay credit limits range $20 to $500. $2 fee to get funds instantly. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Fees apply at out-of-network ATMs. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. As adults, we don't have that same childlike curiosity. We don't get to learn new things as much as you do as a child. I'm watching a child grow and learn right now, and they're learning every single day. But I know that I myself am always excited to learn new hobbies, but I don't have a lot of time. But a lot of time, I don't have a lot of time because when I do have time, I'm actually just kind of stressed. But there is something that can help you get back to that sort of back to school era, and that's therapy. Therapy just helps you have a better set of tools to manage your life better. And once your life is managed better, you're going to have more time to figure out some of those fun things that might bring you some joy, might spark some back to school attitudes with you. Therapy can help you have better positive coping skills. It helps you learn how to set boundaries. It can empower you to be the best version of yourself. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/tripod today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/tripod. No, you got to move out.
Unsalvageable relationship.
You're both.
And by the way, moving forward, she was an asshole, but you are now displaying asshole tendencies that will make you a bad roommate moving forward. So
Yeah.
cut it out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cut it out.
Yeah.
I'm interested too. What stood out to me was she asked if I could move the couch, and so I just said no because there was a question. Because that to me I think is tricky because it's like she wasn't actually asking quote unquote two answers. She was really telling you, please move this.
Right.
Yeah, or like, can we move it together?
Yeah,
we
like in a
find
nice
something
way.
that works.
Yeah,
and I think that it's like when you live with people, you have to deal with. You sometimes have to do things you don't want to.
Yeah.
And like her being like, well, I want to exercise in the living room with my stripper pole.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hey, we maybe have to find a solution that involves, like, I'm sure that you would want this to be your second bedroom too.
Right.
That is not possible.
Also, guys, huge thing here. Inconsistency in this story. She says, since she asked, I'm allowed to say no, right? Like, that's a statement we all remember her saying. Earlier, though, she says, right after we got the TV, Holly demanded that we move the pole out of the backside of the living room.
Oh, that's detective work.
So first she's painting Holly as aggressive, and then later painting herself as non-aggressive because she simply asked, and I said actually no, we were being very reasonable. But earlier she's already painted Holly as a villain in our mind. By saying demanded.
I flagged that when you read it. I'm like,
she doesn't know. I think that she's kind of. Also, look, if you want to demand, it all feels like demands. It all feels like some things that happen when you aren't friends with people.
Yeah.
And also, it's like when you're not friends with your roommates and you can't come up with a compromise, the house will be less fun.
Oh my gosh.
Tense. Trying to incorporate a really fun thing, stripping, into a hostile environment, very difficult.
It's pole dancing. There's a difference.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. I just don't want
Such a good point.
Yeah, she's not necessarily stripping.
I imagine that she was
doing it kind of.
You can strip and pole dance.
That's a good point.
You can pole dance, or you can jump.
Probably more of an exercise.
Are we sure about that?
Probably.
We're not.
It does feel inherently sensual as well.
I mean, lots of things.
A lot of people use that as a way to connect with their sexuality and work out.
That's right.
Totally cool.
Sure.
It's honestly too hard of a workout for me to feel sensual at all. I feel weak.
It's so difficult, seemingly. I could not do it.
I'm gonna hit you with this. Am I the asshole? No, you're a child. You got to grow up and learn how to be a roommate. It's about compromises. You're sharing a space with people.
Right.
This is not your room all to yourself. Grow up.
And Holly, 26, don't live with 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
If you're gonna call the cops on them,
no, you can't. Also, I guarantee for anyone that's going through a situation where you're like, they won't see my way. I guarantee it'll be a more fun place to live if you guys come up with a stripper schedule, right? A pole schedule. Hey guys, 3rd week of every month, it's pole week. We put up the pole. We all have a ton of fun. They try it. You do your dances. Coming up with a compromise that is
smart.
fun and flirty.
The next week, Love Island Couch Week.
Yeah, exactly.
Only Love Island,
theming
24/7.
Miles,
Everyone's gonna be better.
I wish we could have been roommates.
I think we'd have been great roommates.
What fun we would have had.
We would have had a lot of fun, Zach.
I think you're right.
I would have said yes to every crazy little whim you had. Do you think Sarah and Maggie would be down if we were like, hey, we're gonna be roommates this month?
We're gonna move in together. Only if we shot it Big Brother style.
Miles
a reality show. Zach and Miles become roommates.
Miles and I were talking. We think we'd be like really good roommates. So I don't know. I think in October seems pretty open.
Yeah, Julian has to live with us though.
I'm cool. That sounds great.
2 minutes of AV.
How do you feel, Keith, on that side of the room that we just came up with this plan and you weren't involved in it?
I'm kind of busy.
Keith feels busy.
Oh, you feel left out?
No, I feel
Keith feels
busy.
busy.
It's I'm
instruments.
reasonably. I don't think I'd be able to do it.
Do you think you would have liked being roommates with us, or do you?
I think so,
I think we would be fun roommates.
but I
together.
feel I'd be left out a lot because you
You
guys
do?
like to talk about celebrities, and I don't know anything about them.
We could talk about instruments too.
But you won't. But you won't.
Well, you'd like to learn.
You're gonna say all these actors' names. I'm gonna be
You'd be like, who that?
my brain's just gonna go.
I'm gonna tell you, I will not be doing the dishes.
Yikes.
I already do most of the dishes in my house. Becky does.
I'm just
as
thinking
well.
back
It's one
to
of
when-
my, a little bit more Keith chore leaned.
Back to
That's
when
fine.
I was living with roommate, when I was roommate. This is my early 20s. I wasn't cooking, so I don't feel like I should have to do the dishes. But occasionally, I will cook.
Were you
and
eating
yeah,
off of plates?
occasionally.
Okay then.
Oh,
Zach.
then you Zach.
Okay, here's the real.
I tried to make this argument once when I was in college, and it did not.
Here's
go
the
over.
reality: is that
Yeah.
my roommate
No.
would cook.
I had simple.
big-
I had to fight with my roommates because I was always cooking, and
Yeah.
it was like, well, I didn't cook. I didn't make the mess. Like, you ate.
You definitely ate.
You at least got to clean your own plate, fork, and knife. If you
Oh,
really want to be a stickler about you didn't create the dishes that cooked,
Yeah.
you at least have to clean the ones that you ate off of.
That's like my
Yeah.
roommate would because I cooked all the time because I didn't have any fucking money,
Yeah.
and my roommate
Same.
was like, well, I never use a dish. And I was like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Yeah.
He was like, no, I've never used it. I don't use dishes. I order out all the time, so I never use a dish.
Never use a
And
single
I was
dish.
like, all right, buddy. Well, now I'm fucking watching you like a hawk. You take a cup, you take a plate, whatever.
You take a
I'm-
fork.
You take a fork, then I'm watching you. But it
I'm
was
gonna
like,
defend myself here, and I'm
Okay.
gonna defend your roommate too, because and then we
Oh,
can move
insanity.
on,
Uh-oh.
and then you can cut this all, and we'll just move on. But
don't get it out.
I would use a cup, a glass of water. I would use a plate, And then, you do your thing, you put it to the side, you put it in the sink, like, I'll get that later. Then my roommate cooks a big ol' elaborate meal with the fucking au jus and the fucking mustard and all these
You having
sauces.
some food? You having some food though?
His roommate only makes sauces.
and then it gets thrown in the sink because we all put stuff in the sink, and it's the I'll get to you later. And now my one dish is buried under a mountain of your sloppy, gross food mess.
And it does make your dishes dirtier.
And it makes now I'm like, well, I can't. No.
So and just to confirm here, sloppy gross food mess.
Yeah.
A working man making a meal.
Yeah, were you ordering
You're
out?
ordering from Nobu, throwing it away, causing waste to go in the landfill. And you feel like you
I'm
don't
getting
do the dishes.
prepackaged Trader Joe's salads for $4.50.
Oh,
Loved it.
I
loved it.
I think that
I
dirty
had
dishes,
crazy stomach issues.
I think that like dirty glasses and plates shouldn't go into the sink.
I agree.
I think they should go next to the sink. Pots that need to soak can go in the sink.
Look at this
But
guy
once you
with
start
his all
putting
space.
when you put plates
It gets wet.
and stuff
Oh,
in,
yes.
then when that pot goes in, everything becomes as dirty as the dirtiest thing.
Correct.
And especially when you're in a hand washing dishing, like now this is so much harder to wash this dish than it was. Which I also like. I think you should wash your dish right when you're done with it, if that's possible. But when the sink is full, you can't do that.
We're not going to be roommates. It's off.
It's off. You know what I was
the
thinking
plan
about?
is off.
Good invention idea. 3D
Dishwasher.
pen. Well, that too. 3D printed plates.
Oh,
And then at the end, you put them into a machine that
Turns them
destroys
back.
them and then reprints new plates. No cleaning necessary.
wow! Because
So-
the heat of the melting the plastic
Cleans
burns off
the
cleans.
food and then recycles them and then spits out new plates.
Hell yeah. Rainie, what's our next Reddit?
All right. Miles, will you read the next? Am I the asshole for leaving a bad review on a diner and ruining the waitress's life just because she was, quote, complimenting my husband's eyes?
Holy
I'm pretty ready
shit.
to have a verdict on this, but
Yeah.
let's read the story.
Pretty ready for this one. Okay.
Ruining her life.
I ruined her life.
Am I the asshole for ruining her life?
All right. My female 33 husband's male 30 birthday was several days ago. We decided to go to celebrate at a new diner and invited my in-laws to join us. Throughout the entire celebration, this 20-ish waitress who served our table, this woman's the asshole, kept acting strange. She didn't take her eyes off my husband and threw some inappropriate comments at him and in front of us as she came and went.
I need to know, like, what?
It's got to be like, hey, good looking, right? Who cares?
Oh, your birthday?
Oh my God.
Big birthday.
Oh my gosh, I
was
love your
feeling
shirt.
uncomfortable, but decided to not make a scene, hoping she'd stop when she brought the drinks. She put them on the table, leans close enough towards my husband, thinking no one would hear, but we heard what she said. And it was, the sparkle of those eyes is igniting me.
Stop it.
P.S. My husband has electric blue eyes. I was flabbergasted, truly.
No one said that.
And can I be honest? Even if she did, who fucking cares? I couldn't believe she
I don't
just
know.
said that.
If the human actually said that sentence, it would definitely spark my interest.
It would be
like,
funny.
Who speaks like that?
I told her, you know what? You're being inappropriate. Oh my God, this would make me so fucking annoyed. I told her, you know what? You're being inappropriate right now and you need to stop. She then smiled and turned away and walked away. I got weird looks from my in-laws and it was awful. Yup. I got home and left a very rad review of the diner. This person is the biggest piece of shit. The next day I'm contacted by the manager asking me to specify the bad
Lady,
experience.
no one wants to fuck your husband that badly.
Nobody wants to fuck your husband. Nobody wants to fuck your husband. I had the diner and tell him. He then calls back and tells me the business is new and this kind of review might harm the reputation. Then asks what it would take for me to take it down. I tell him some consequences to the waitress. He tells me to call back and say he just fired her. Before I take down the review, I'm contacting the waitress on my SM, telling me she didn't mean to cause disturbance and was just complimenting my husband's eyes, but I ruined her career and caused her to potentially lose her apartment and become homeless after getting fired from the diner and being unable to pay her rent. I don't respond, but my in-laws point out I overacted and this stuff happens too often at diners and I just caused irreparable damage to this young lady's life over nothing.
This
Also,
happens
mother-in-law...
too- Wait, why are you reading it 8 times speed?
Yeah, what happened? What happened? I can't hear you.
I don't
to
respond.
the audience, nothing happened to your phone.
My in-laws...
Wait, this stuff happens at diners all the time?
My in-laws point out that I overreacted and this stuff happened too often at diners. And I just caused irreparable damage to this young lady's life over nothing. Also, mother-in-law said I must have done this because I felt jealous of the waitress. Am I the asshole? Yes. 1,000,000% yes. And can I tell you just a little something on jealousy? If your husband wasn't interested in the waitress, now he fucking is. You made a big scene about how hot and into it. Like, I was like, what are you talking about? Her being like who cares, right?
And also, if something, God forbid, happens, Now your husband's the asshole.
Yeah.
Leave his ass. What the fuck is this?
Your blue eyes are igniting.
Also, I'm like,
me.
if someone was to flirt with my lovely, lovely wife in front of me, I'd be like, hell yeah, she fucking rocks.
That's how I feel. I feel like it'd
cares,
be like,
right?
yeah, like she's right.
Of course, she's awesome. Like, I get it, right? I guess I'm just like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, like there was a time Becky said she was somewhere and like a guy hit on her and basically Luder's like Becky has tiny feet.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like, you have very nice feet.
Oh,
and then
so
she
funny.
told me about this and I said, well, did you show them to him?
Exactly. Like,
I'm not threatened by this.
Of course
And it's
not.
hilarious that this is the way this person hit on you.
Yeah,
did
right.
you talk about it back? Did you flirt back? What
Check out my
happened?
yeah, like I think there's just something funny about this person being. I mean, it just comes from personal insecurity, but it's also like, that's what waiters do.
Yeah, they're trying to make money.
They're trying to get a tip.
They're flirting.
They're flirting. They're
They
being
tell
like,
you that
"Oh,
your
you're beautiful. You have amazing blue eyes." Like, of course, that's the job of a waitress or a waiter or
Who among us has not been to like a Din Tai Fung and the waiter says, your
Such a
blue eyes
specific.
ignite a spark in me?
such a specific. You have to have had that experience.
It's wild because so the comments are saying not the asshole.
Those people are also insecure.
Yeah.
Like, and I get
Also,
it.
it happens at diners all the time. It's just crazy. Why are they exclusively eat at diners? Number one.
I think also like, that's funny.
Diners.
This happens at diners a lot. Although the in-laws were in the right. They were like, yeah, this is
If
nothing.
you're
Yeah.
thinking about this for more than the 20 seconds that it happened, maybe you talk about it that night of like, oh, that was funny when she crazy, whatever.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
thinking about it beyond the conversation that you had unpacking it with your husband, this is lingering that you had to write a review. Insecurity. This is it. Just
Yeah, if you, especially like, I want to see this woman reprimanded because she flirted or I perceived her to flirt. That's a lot.
That's crazy.
That's
Well,
a lot.
I'm also like, I think insecurity and like specifically like jealousy of this type, super common when you're young, like you're like a teenager or you're like maybe early college, like people, you're just coming into yourself. You're everything, you like flirt with someone cool. You're worried you're going to lose that immediately because like maybe your self-esteem is low or whatever. They're like in their 30s or
Yeah.
worried about somebody flirting. Like, I don't know. I just think it's.
When you're married.
They're married, right?
you already won.
You're married. You did it.
You already won the thing.
You got
right?
a contract.
Yeah, you got a contract.
It's just, she's the asshole at so many parts in the story. Like even calling it out in the moment is
Yeah.
like, wait for her to leave, roll your eyes, and make a little joke about it at the table.
Yeah, right. Be like, wow, she's really into it. But you don't need to
Or if
get
your
her
husband,
fired.
if your husband's giving it back, now it's like he needs a fucking smacking.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's the husband's problem.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
this, if the husband's like, hell yeah, brother. Like,
you could kindly be like, when she leaves, like, she's making me a little bit uncomfortable. Would you mind just shutting it down if she does that again?
yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
totally. To the husband, if
Just
that's
shut it down.
really what you need to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, totally.
You'd be like, Roger, cut it out.
And he goes,
Right.
stop. I'm married.
It's my birthday. I will flirt with whomever I'd like.
it was his birthday, right?
It's when you everyone knows that on your birthday you get to go to a diner and
Yeah.
whatever happens.
It's like
happens.
the purge.
I wonder if the in-laws had contacted the diners, like, it's his birthday. Could you just make him feel special?
She's just trying to make him have a good time.
And she's being like overly kind to make him feel really good. It's like, wow, your eyes are just like electric.
They're igniting me.
Right.
I've got some quick hits. Am I the asshole? So leaning the seat back in the airplane.
Completely fine.
You think it's fine? I think that it's like
I'm a fucking gigantic person.
yeah,
Absolutely fine.
I think that I'd prefer you didn't.
Yeah, but do you want to lean your seat back?
I don't,
When you're on a plane, do you not lean your seat back?
unless it is.
And I'm not talking about first class.
I actually, as a giant person myself, I don't.
Really?
Unless it's an empty seat behind me because I'm so big and I don't like them lean back on me and there's nothing I can do. But if it's a child behind me or if it's an empty seat, I will recline. But if it's someone even comparable to an adult size, I won't.
I'm trying to think of like if it's expected and assumed that we're gonna be sleeping. Yes. If it is like no, we're awake and you're either doing work or watching a movie or trying to eat, like I'm not gonna lean back on you. I just was on an 11-hour flight. Yes, I did lean back, but I did foresee that the guy behind me was sleeping.
I think that it's totally fine. And I think that anyone who thinks it's not I don't understand that take. Is it that you're worried that you're going to inconvenience someone else? Because I'm sort of like, then they can go back, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't really work like that. My butt doesn't get to go further back when my knees are compressed.
Yeah, I guess just
if someone leans back on me, I hold no animosity toward them.
Yeah.
I just don't want it.
When someone leans back in me, I find all the excuses to kind of fiddle with the back of the seat. I am so fucking passive aggressive.
I'm like,
I am a monster.
I'm appalled. I'm like, we all signed the social contract that is you get on the plane.
I didn't sign the contract.
Everyone goes back at the same time.
I did not sign that contract.
And then we're all like dominoes. Like that's how I'm thinking it goes.
Oh,
Yeah,
so do you always do it?
Yes.
I will say
I'm humongous.
Yeah.
I don't fit in the plane
but
anyway.
my issue is
you
not my legs are the problem, and my leaning back doesn't give me more leg room.
Because to me, it's like, all right, if I'm sitting up like this, I go down, and then I can kind of get a little extra leg.
I feel like I can do this. There's no more ability I have to extend my legs based on what my torso is doing.
Oh yeah, I feel like I just
Maybe it may be a mental thing.
Maybe it's mental.
And you are a little taller than me, so maybe you get maybe your hips are in a different place where they angle better.
My hips don't lie. But I would say, if somebody ever does it to me, I'm like, of course.
It's I expect it to happen to me. I don't prefer it. I think what I don't like is when somebody small reclines onto me. Because I'm like, well, you really...
So now I can't recline, but Miles can.
No, you would. But I'm talking about like if a child...
Yeah.
It was like 8 years old, reclines their seat. And I was like, okay.
I guess, yeah, that's only...
They don't know. So I'm not going to ever be like mad at them, but I'm annoyed that someone who does not need extra space or is not sleeping, and they're just fucking jumping around in their seat. I'm like, they do not need to be reclined.
New question.
Yeah.
On an airplane, we're an airplane content podcast now.
Yeah.
You're nuts.
There is a kid behind you who's kind of knocking into your chair a bunch, either kicking, wiggling, smacking, doing his thing. How long do you let it go?
I never say anything.
Depends on the age of the child.
So, Rainie, you're going the whole
plane. I'm not turning around saying, "Hey, can you sit quieter?"
How old's the kid?
Yeah, the age makes a big difference.
You tell me.
If it's a kid that's like under 5, I'll try to make it a game and
say-
be like, "Hey, how's it going?" Like try to make eye contact, whatever. Like look through between the seats because it's probably just a bored kid. Make it a little game, like, "Oh, hi!" Like they'll wave at me, whatever. Make eye contact with the parent as well, like, "Hi, how's it going?" Knowing that then they know
that's a parent take.
I've clocked the kid, clocked the parent, give them a little hello. They now know I'm sitting up
This
here.
guy's a fucking pro.
And
let me tell you what, this guy's a pro.
Yeah.
He kicks again. The parent's probably going to be like, okay, now we stop. Because they're just basically also the thing with now having a child on a plane, much better that he's kicking than he is fucking screaming.
Yeah.
Right? So it's sort of like the parents just trying to boil the kettle at the exact perfect temperature.
Yeah, there's only so much you can, like. It's like Henry's only at the stage where he fiddles.
Yes, right.
But he likes to lift up and lay down the tray table, which is not that bothersome. But if you keep pushing it down, it is essentially kicking the seat without being he has no idea this is connected to anyone else at all, right? So there's nothing you can do but try to distract him with a different activity. Yeah. But like if they're 6 or 7 and above, they know what they're doing.
Right. Yeah, I'm
and
thinking
if they're
an
a teenager,
I'm thinking a 10-year-old.
10-year-old is probably going to get a kind like, "Hey, would you mind not doing that?" No.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 10 would be like, "Hey, I'm actually up here. Like, would you mind? Whatever."
Teenager,
12-year-old, you smack them, right?
Teenager, I'll turn around and be like, "Hey, do you guys mind not doing that?"
Yeah, exactly.
And then if they try to be like, because teenagers get very like defensive and that jokey, like, "You're not doing that." I mean, I'll be like, "That's exactly what they do." And they'll be like, "It's a totally normal request," and they're like, "Well, let's bozo over here." But if they will do that a second time, I'll just be like, "Hey, you need to stop."
Yeah.
I don't care if you make fun of me. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it doesn't bother
but you got to stop.
Okay, now an adult. I'm talking a 40-year-old.
Kicking your
not kicking.
What an insane person.
But like every time they get up to go to the bathroom, they go, grab the back of your seat.
If you get one pass of grabbing my seat as your way to get out before I will absolutely sit, because my head's there.
Yeah.
I'm not short.
Yeah, exactly.
My head is taller than the seat. So if you're grabbing my seat, you're touching my head. You get one pass, and you better be old.
Have I told the story about the guy who screamed at me for farting?
What do you mean?
I feel like in all the years we've done this show, I must have said it, but I'll tell it again. So I was on a plane once, and it was New York to LA, and I was sitting alone, and I'm on the plane, and I start to fall asleep, and I notice that the guy who's next to me is like, he's like pissed.
You did a sleep toot.
And I don't know what so to this day, I don't know that it was me, but I can almost 100% confirm it was me.
You leaked.
Probably leaked. So this guy goes, he's like rustling around. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy's deal? Like, I don't know.
He's boiling.
He's boiling, right? And he just goes, and he finally goes, whoever the fuck is farting, stop. Because he doesn't know it's me.
Wait, but that means that you were farting
in my sleep.
A lot.
I was farting in my sleep, and they were
even
stinky.
It wasn't just
stinky,
one
and
fart.
It happened a few times.
It could have been, and I look at this guy and I'm like, this guy's gonna kill me. He was huge. He was like big and aggravated, and he's like, stop fucking farting. Like he has a burst of thing, and then he tries to go back to sleep. But I think the whole reason he was rustling is because he was smelling fart, and I was worried it was me. And I was like, I was like, holy shit, okay, fucking really got to lock up your butthole, Miles. And then I did notice that there was a baby in front, in the scene in front. So I'm like, pretend it's the baby. Pretend I'm not, I'm like, I start pretending to smell.
That's great.
Ooh, PU. But it was like, I woke up to him yelling, stop fucking farting.
I like farting on planes.
It was terrifying.
Yeah, probably my only big issue.
Can't believe they just threw
Sorry.
it.
Yeah,
You like farting on planes?
I heard you, but everyone sneaks one out here and there.
'Cause
But you can't fart more than once.
enjoy
Not me,
it?
too.
It's so
I
loud.
don't enjoy it.
The airplane is so loud.
Oh.
I
You're
don't think
not
that's
concerned with, sorry, Zach, you and I have different farts, clearly.
Yeah. It's not about the audio.
It's not about the audio at all.
No one, you do it. It's like when you're at a bar and you can just be staring right into your lover's eyes.
How lucky to be you.
How lucky to be you.
To not have to worry about
Outdoor music festival, that's the golden goose.
I've surely told the story of how I cleared a room farting.
Yes, yeah. I know that one. But like if you want a great place, an outdoor music festival is loud.
Yeah.
You're outside.
Smells bad.
There's hundreds of people near you.
Is this the same episode where Miles started talking about how eating sugar and dairy doesn't affect him at all? And now farts are so
Obnoxious.
radioactive.
I'll say the last thing I'll say about the
Airplane.
plane seeing back is I'm just sort of like, okay, social contract. We got on a plane. We all have the same abilities and powers. It's like a video game. It's like Fortnite.
Yeah.
So I'm like, everyone has the ability and power to do this. Also, beyond that, about the foot kicking. So I moved recently, and we moved into a place. We live in a duplex, so there's a family above us. And the first night I moved in, and we knew that there was 2 kids and a mother, and we're very close with them now. They're like a part of our family. But when I first moved in, I could hear the footsteps, right? Footsteps going. And at first I was like, man, because I've never lived. It's been a long time since I've lived with somebody above me.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of the footsteps, and I was like, man, the footsteps, like, oh my God, it's really, like, I wonder if they're running. And it like was bothering me for a second. And then I totally changed my perspective because we were talking, and we've become, they're like total family to us. And I was like, oh no, it's us. It's one house. They live upstairs. We live downstairs, but it's all of us living in the same house. Totally clicked it for me. I don't even notice the footsteps anymore. And if I ever do hear one, I'm like, oh, the kids are playing upstairs, whatever.
Aww.
Same thing I think can be adopted to planes. You hear a baby crying, whatever, you're all one plane together. There's a big kid crying. Oh man, the kid's crying. This together. But I think it's like, it does help to change your perspective. Just be like, okay, obviously they don't want the baby to cry.
Right.
But like, oh, we've got a crying baby, but we're all here in this, world together. Try to be peaceful. If you become an individualist, someone kicks your seat, you turn around and go, stop fucking farting.
I'll say what I do now.
We are farting.
We are all farting,
we've been
buddy.
flying a decent amount with Henry, and we just try to find the other baby on the plane and sit by them.
Oh, that's great.
Group the babies.
That's a great idea.
Because then it's
You're trading seats with someone.
no. Normally, like there's family boarding. Normally,
nice,
is a time that happens like before everyone gets boarded, so you can make sure you can be together.
Like a Southwest.
Southwest does that.
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Southwest
right.
allows you to enter at a certain time, unrelated to your ticket number, to be able to safely board. It takes a little more time.
Yeah.
But so all the families go at the same time. But we just like go near
Smart.
and then a lot of one flight, like everybody kind of without speaking went to the exact same area. Like
wow.
all of us were on the back third on the right side of the plane.
Oh, that's great.
All of us.
Yeah.
And it was just like all the babies are right here.
Cool.
So you can see all the babies here. You can try your best not to sit by us if you don't want to sit by us.
And one guy who hadn't slept in 48 hours.
He was the last to board the plane, and he was like, I got to sit in the middle of the babies. But it's also good because the babies like to, the babies communicate to each other in whatever baby way. So they play a game. They have something to focus on that's not just screaming. Yeah. Because I've had flights where it was just screaming the whole time, Henry included. just,
of course.
Just chaos, just miserable. But nothing makes me as upset as using the seats to propel yourself forward.
When I said that, I saw something change.
It's just, it is such an unawareness of other people's space that it's not even clicking to them what they're doing. And to me, that's such a profound, like voluntary ignorance to express in a place where we should all be in this together.
Yeah.
If you are unstable and you need that is one thing. But you have a chair.
Yeah, you can use the arms.
You can use your chair to stand up.
Yeah, right.
And you especially should not be walking through the plane touching everyone's chair. If you need stability, put your arms up and hold the storage compartment.
Yeah,
that's your stability.
Yeah,
not every person's headrest.
I've never seen. You've seen that before?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's funny.
My God.
The next quick hit.
Yeah.
Putting someone's laundry from the washer to the dryer.
What about it?
Oh, you have to sometimes.
Oh, like strangers?
Yeah, in an
like the
apartment
asshole.
building.
Yeah. Or like taking out somebody's laundry.
I think that
using.
Oh no, I'm confused with the question. If I take someone's laundry out,
like out of the wetter, out of the washer
into the dryer.
Yeah. So there's two options, either or on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh, on top.
Yeah.
Wet on
I've
top
seen more often,
is more problematic than dry on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen more often that someone's stuff is done in the dryer, you take it out. If someone's laundry is wet,
don't touch that.
I think you have to give it
a grace period.
And I want to say 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
After that, I think it's fair game.
I think 30 minutes to an hour is correct.
I probably won't move someone's wet stuff only because it's gross for me.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I'll absolutely move their dry stuff. But I'll still be like, if I go down and someone's dry stuff is like, I'm going to come back in 10 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like let me give this person a chance. 10 minutes goes by. They should know it's dry. I'm only moving it on top of the dryer. If they've left their hamper there, I'll put it in their hamper. I just don't want, I just need to do my own chores.
Yeah. Totally.
And they should know that the washer was running when they started the dryer, so they know someone's behind them.
Yeah.
I think
one
that's
time
fair game.
in college, this guy left his stuff in the washer. Then my roommate came and put it in the dryer and paid for it. And she thought she was doing like a nice act of service, but then shrank like 3 of his shirts. And he was so mad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is. I wouldn't do because now that I know about laundry, I would never dry everyone's one thing because they might be.
You don't know how it's drying.
You don't know what they have silks in there.
Last quick hit: not leaving a note if you scratched a Porsche.
Oh,
a
you gotta
Porsche?
leave a note.
A Porsche?
For Porsche?
Fuck that car. Scratch it.
That's kind of where I am a little bit.
No, here's the thing. It seems like a good idea, but it is also the we're all in this together mentality. If you hit someone's car, because also to me a Porsche is like I kind of don't have the money and I'm spending it on the Porsche. To me,
really?
It's like I feel like you see a lot of people in LA specifically with really nice cars.
That's definitely a style, right?
And they do not have the money. It's like they leased a Porsche and that's their prize and they live in a small place and whatever.
Especially in LA because you want to look like you have money, so because you're trying to sell stuff.
Yeah, like
to prove that you're an actor of worth or a writer of worth or a director. So a lot of that is like it's curb appeal, lifestyle curb appeal.
Which I think is bullshit.
And
like,
now, Miles, if you dent a Cybertruck.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Good luck denting one of those things.
Good luck. It's titanium.
That's fucking angles all over the place. You can't dent angles.
Well, let's say you're swinging around an aluminum baseball bat and you accidentally take 10 attempts to dent a Cybertruck.
You finally leave a mark on that.
I will say now, if someone hit my Prius, my pristine Prius, not a single dent, not a scratch in there, they could just keep going.
So my Prius, I've told you guys, I treat it like a bumper car. It has so many dents and bumps. When I was out of town, my mom she came to our house, she got our keys, borrowed my car, she drove it around. She was here for about a week. She went to the gas station and then saw this big dent. Every time my sister has borrowed my car, twice now. First, she cracked my windshield. Then she accidentally left the lights on, killed my battery. So like it's like this family curse. So my mom sees the dent and freaks out. And I'm on my honeymoon too. She doesn't want to bother me. She is like so fucking stressed. And then she also like somehow messed up the lockbox outside and like had to like figure out how to reset. Like so she's having this terrible time. She leaves a 2-sided note when I got home, and
Oh my God.
it is handwritten, and it just says in all caps, "Shit, fuck."
Oh.
And it is just to get a note from your mother. I want to frame this.
Wow.
So funny.
Just says,
Was it a new dent or one that were
it
already
was old. It was not her
I would say
fault.
it's like I
That's
think
nice.
I know the dent you're talking about.
Yeah.
There's a big old dent in one side of it.
Happened while we were filming without a recipe.
I did get my car got swiped and it has a big scratch on
That's
the
amazing.
side, and it was parked at like a brewery, and I know either someone swiped and just fucking kept going. And
Which is
like
crazy
it
to
was
me.
a really wide road, so like no reason
Yeah.
someone should have swiped it. I wasn't parked too far out. It was not a narrow street.
Yeah.
And that was a real bummer.
That's a bummer to come back.
That's
I mean,
a real
that's happened in
bummer.
my car 3 times. I've gotten hit, and I got in it. This guy hit and run me too when
Yeah.
I was on the way to this thing. And I, at this point, I mean, I get worried about having a nice car. My car is a 2007 Prius. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't really want a super new car because LA, it's just gonna get destroyed.
Someone's
Yeah.
gonna hit it.
I will say, when I was on my honeymoon, my friend Jay, shout out Jay.
Hey.
Hey Jay, I know
Hey,
that you love
Jay.
listening to Miles's podcast.
He's not
with
listening to
us.
this. But he was driving our car around. The tire blew out on the freeway, and Jay goes, "Okay, well, the tire blew out, so I obviously have to get a new tire." He didn't know that we had bought new, nice Costco tires that were totally under warranty. So if anything happens, you get brand new, pristine
Right.
tires.
Oh.
Jay Googles tire guy,
Oh,
finds
no.
the seediest, scammy tire guy, and the guy goes, I'll take that tire off your hands and give you this shitty used tire for like $200. So Jay's like, well, yeah, I don't want my friends to be inconvenienced. So he gives the guy the new tire, buys a shitty old tire, and puts it on the car. And we got back, and he was like, I made sure that it was all okay. I didn't want to
Jay.
bother you on your honeymoon.
You sweet baby.
Oh,
It
that
was cute.
hurts.
I know. It was just like, yeah, because you don't want to bother people on their honeymoon, but just if you had just texted, we'd have been like, go to Costco, they'll give you a free one. It'll be new.
Yeah. Tough.
We've got time for one more quick one. So
Let's go, guys.
Yeah.
Make it juicy.
Juicy baby.
Zach, will
Yes.
you read the one that's actually a screenshot because it was deleted?
Oh shit.
Deleted
Well,
post.
we already know who the asshole is now, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
They've buried their trail.
OP.
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 I, 37 male. Wait, do we get a title for this or no? I
It's
don't.
called The Great Chupacabra.
I, 37 male, live with my wife, 37 female. Why do they do that?
So we know the context
Yeah.
of their
Of their
their,
age.
their life experience.
Mm-hmm.
I, 37 male, live with my wife, 37 female, and son and daughter, 9 and 11, respectively. Recently, there's been...
9/11.
Don't make
is
an
a-
9/11 joke.
I mean, it's weird to drop. They could have done 11 and 9. Just they could have avoided. Okay.
Recently, there's been this kid who comes by our house after playing soccer and either rides his bike or walks over the lawn with his cleats on the way home. It started out as me giving him a stern look whenever I saw him, then it slowly progressed to me asking him to just go around. The last time I asked him to stop, he made a point to stomp extra hard and twist his feet into the grass to piss me off. Since then, I've just been hosing him. The first time... I thought that was a metaphor. No. The first time I sprayed him with the hose,
Hell yeah.
he ran off.
Yep.
But then,
No, that's right.
for some reason, he just started standing there while I hose him like he enjoys it.
Hell yeah! Good
This
job,
is
kid.
awesome, dude.
This kid is winning for me,
It
and
gets-
I'm ready to dispute why.
We're not even halfway through.
Wow.
It's now progressed to me sitting on my lawn chair, pointing my hose at him, and him just staring at me while he does so. Sometimes we even make small talk.
This is awesome.
I'm not going to lie. It started off as a really bitter relationship, but I've actually gotten to know the kid quite well. We talk for maybe 15 to 20 minutes every day, and he doesn't seem to mind being hosed down after sweating hard playing soccer. He comes by daily, and we just shoot the shit while he hosts
Daily.
for a bit. This is like feeling. This is kind of it seems honestly a little inappropriate.
What? It seems beautiful.
There's so much to talk about here.
Wife told me I need to stop, even after I explained it to her, and she said I'm making us look like childish idiots. I guess I could stop, but honestly, it's really funny waiting for him to come by, and I see no harm in it.
That's great.
What Wibda?
Would I be the asshole if?
Would I be the asshole?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
This is so funny.
I actually think this is kind of great. I think in both of them are not the asshole, and they're just doing their best.
I think the key to this story is the very beginning when he says the first way that I reacted to this child doing something I didn't want him to do was not by telling him what he was doing wrong that upset me, but rather giving him a stern look. No communication.
Yeah, right.
If the first thing that happened was, "Oh, would you mind? I'm just trying to like get my lawn back in shape. Could you not walk on it?"
Yeah, the
Like,
context is
just talk to the child like a person and explain your point of view. But if your first thing is,
Yeah.
and your second is, "Don't fucking do that,"
Yeah, exactly.
the kid's gonna do it because they have no context and you've not treated them nicely.
Yeah,
yet.
right.
You've only treated them with, "Oh, you've painted your picture as you are mean man." Oh, mean man doesn't like it when I do this. Mean man is being mean, so I did it more because he's mean man. But just be nice man.
That's right.
But
But what is great
Is now they're
that
friends.
the kid stood up against mean man.
Yep.
And so the kid became Weird Boy.
Weird Boy and Mean Man is a great comic book.
And they have found a relationship.
Weird Boy melted Mean Man's icy heart.
Yeah.
Literally up. Yeah.
This is so.
It's up.
It is adorable.
That's very
Yeah.
cute. And I think that like this is a good solution.
Yeah, he was the asshole. The kid was also perhaps a little of an asshole back.
Snotty.
And now they've found a beautiful relationship where they're not assholes anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
There's
just
something
weird.
beautiful about the relationship between neighbors. Like when I was a kid, there was an
It's
old.
your son's friend. You just hosed.
They now
That's so
I'm trying to
funny.
think if I was 9 and my best friend was getting hosed by my dad.
Like, Dad, stop.
Dad, you gotta leave him alone. He
But they
doesn't
now
know.
have a relationship totally independent of the son.
Well, it seems like it's sort of like they are walking home together, and then he's hosing the kid, and he's, you know.
Hey, John, you want in and get ready for dinner? Hey, Barry.
That is awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. The world's a beautiful
Community.
place.
Yeah.
I like
He's
that.
softened into, being a role model for this child.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Miles, not hit us with
We've
it.
been doing advice this whole episode,
Yeah.
but I kind of could use some more.
I could use some more specific advice for a problem I didn't realize I had. Miles?
Yeah, Keith.
Hit us with some advice.
It's advice that'll go for miles. Tune it to your radio station. It's advice that'll go for miles. Everyone get ready, Miles Nation. Miles Nation, go. It's advice that'll go for miles. Advice that'll go for miles.
What's up, Miles Nation? How's everybody doing tonight?
Yeah.
Obviously, you hoes know that I'm sort of a smoothie king. And hoes also know that I'm kind of loving my green smoothie lifestyle.
Yep.
I'm loving that acai bowl.
I can't get into that, but go on.
Well, it's just a sweet smoothie.
I just don't like it.
That's fine.
He doesn't like sweets.
Well, I mean,
I just don't want to eat a smoothie with smoothie. Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to get to is that moment when you're gonna have that smoothie, and you actually make a little too much. Now, what are we supposed to do here?
Phrase it.
Damn right, Keith. Freeze your smoothie. Yep. Freeze it good and have it for later. Freeze your smoothie. Just make sure the top of the smoothie's hole is wider than the smoothie's bowl, because if it's not, then the smoothie's gonna melt and come out, but it's gonna get stuck at the top. If it's a cylinder, the smoothie's gonna melt and slop right out, but not if it's a jar, because it'll hit the top.
Freeze your smoothie!
Today.
Today.
I froze a little bit of a smoothie, forgot about it, had it yesterday, and it was a snack.
Yeah.
Froze it about a couple weeks ago. Forgot that it was in my freezer and was like, holy shit, smoothie alert.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought I didn't have enough stuff for a smoothie.
The freezer is big where it's just like, oh yeah, actually I do have a full meal here.
Yeah, that's honestly.
Thought I had no food.
Freezer is goated, guys. And the only problem that I did run into.
Freezer's goated,
guys. But the only problem I did run into was that I froze it in sort of a it was like a small top, right? So then I put it under hot water, go under, didn't come out.
Did come out.
So I had to put in a knife in there. Then I'm getting a bowl and a knife, and I'm chiseling away, trying to split it into chunks, so then those chunks come out. So if I was going to do it all over again, I would do it in a container that the mouth was as wide as the jar is wide.
Right.
Not
So you can get the knife. Yeah,
so you can get the knife in there, and so it's
And by
all-
the way, I want to just applaud your bravery.
Mm-hmm.
You're sharing.
No, is it brave to be such a trailblazer?
Yeah.
I think yes.
Or is
Yeah.
it just selfless?
Is it selfless
To
to be
share this
Yeah.
info for free.
I'm giving this free. There's no paywall. It's gratis.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the best things about the modern day of the internet is I can share things with an audience
Yeah.
like this.
Who is wrapped with attention.
Who's their finger on the and I've got my finger on the pulse of what is good.
I was thinking you were going to tell us to freeze a smoothie in ice cube trays.
Yeah.
And then
That is so fucking good, Keith.
then you have smoothie bites. You could just eat them.
Or you can put them in the what was that?
Sorry. Imagining.
Your teeth start to hurt?
Yeah, it's really hard for me to imagine biting ice. I
It's
need
because
to.
you use
But
white-
it's not
I
going
need
to
to bite my
be
shirt.
as hard as water ice because water and smoothie are different. It's going to be more crumbly.
water and smoothie are different.
Yeah.
Is going to be a lasagna island.
Water and smoothie
Are different, and it's like someone like they're different. But I will say the ice cube tray actually is really good, Keith, because then you can just crack the ice cube tray, put all of those in the blender,
In the blender.
again, and then
Ooh.
blend
Boom.
those puppies up.
You're back in town.
You're
We're
back in
back.
town.
Scoop of yogurt.
Oh, that's
We're
nice.
so back. Maggie's mom watched Bowie for a little bit while we were out of town, and she was like, "Oh, Bowie loves a little treat of some ice to chew on." But I let it melt a little bit first, so it was softer. And that
That doesn't
No,
make-
I do actually kind of get it.
I get what she's coming from, but she's wrong.
I was like, "Oh, I love my mushy ice."
That's so.
You guys have
funny.
any soft ice?
Have any soft ice?
It made me laugh really hard.
Yeah, that's good.
But I also was like, I do kind of get it.
I mean, some of those ice cubes do kind of have a softness after they've half melted, you know?
I don't think there's soft ice, but there is ice that's too hard.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's that yeah, that's right. I think that there's little teeny microscopic holes, fissures.
Yeah.
in the ice.
And
Yeah.
it feels like it's more chewable.
And it sticks to your tongue when it's too dry.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 That's yeah.
Ugh.
Like
And
that.
how can it be dry? It's water.
Oh, that's deep.
And you want to talk about bravery.
Yeah, thank you.
brave? That's brave.
Keith, hit us with the official chat pat theme song.
Smoothie and water are different. That smoothie and water are different. Get your
Different.
merchandise at
Nice.
lasagnaisland.com. Is it tripod?
Have a good ass week.